Of a pizza place in Manhattan is in critical condition after a customer's pit bull attacked him last night.
Police say it happened at Roma Pizza on 5th Avenue in Chelsea. It began with the customer coming into the restaurant with a pit bull not on a leash. It quickly escalated from there, but some quick-thinking employees helped police make an arrest.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live in Gramercy Park with more. Kimberly.
Well, just moments ago, detectives walked Tyshawn Watson out of this precinct. The 35-year-old is now charged with attempted murder and assault. You can see in this video his left arm is bleeding and it's wrapped in gauze. We're told his own dog bit him. One of the many disturbing details in this case is that those working in the pizzeria tell me after Watson's pit bull attacked the victim, Watson was overheard telling his dog he would not get fed because he didn't complete his orders. He didn't do his job. Detectives were back at Roma Pizza today. That's where this unfolded just before 10 last.
What? Y'all mind if I back that up? Told his dog that it wasn't going to eat? Really? This is a lunatic. And I mean that literally. He should be in a straitjacket. And this is exactly what I've been talking about for years. They let lunatics, true lunatics with severe mental illness, purchase killers and killing machines. If this government's going to allow people to own these things, it needs to be heavily regulated, and everybody knows that.
His dog, he would not get fed because he didn't complete his orders. He didn't do his job. Detectives were back at Roma Pizza today. That's where this unfolded just before 10 last night, both inside and outside of the restaurant on 5th between 19th and 20th Streets. Friends tell me Zach El Sharif is in the ICU. He can't speak. The 47-year-old is in critical condition. He is the night manager, and when Watson came in with his dog off the leash, Zach told him he had to eat outside. Words were exchanged and things got physical.
Okay. Do they really allow dogs inside of pizzerias in New York City? I've heard two different stories. One report said that they told him to put the dog on a leash. Other reports say that they told him and his dog to get out. Told him to get out. Dog's not allowed. So I'm not sure exactly what was said, but if they allow dogs in there as long as they're leashed, that is insane.
Watson allegedly punched Zach over and over in the head.
So this old man, almost 50 years old, asked him, hey, you can't bring that dog in here. This nutter, this lunatic dirtbag, brought a pit bull in there with no leash. That right there tells you he's a lunatic. Telling these people ain't right. This is what dog culture does. This is what they're all about.
In the head, knocking him to the ground. The dog then bit Zach's arm and leg. At one point, a kitchen worker tried to break it up. The dog.
So this idiot starts beating up this old man. Then the dog starts attacking the old man as well. Then the dog turns on its owner. How many times? This has happened several times. What does that tell you? These dumb things, they don't feel nothing. They don't have no emotions for you, dog lovers. They don't love you. They don't love at all. They're just dumb, operational organisms.
Turned on him. It spilled outside onto the sidewalk where Eli, a worker who didn't want to show his face, tells me the vicious assault continued.
The guy even stumped his head after Zach was on the floor bleeding.
No.
He stumped him 3 times in the head. Imagine, this could have...
They said that he stomped him. He was stomping him in the head as he lay on the ground, unconscious. They said he attacked a man, beat the life out of him, See how big this dude is. Beat him, and then the dog starts mauling him, and at that point the man is unconscious. While he's unconscious after being mauled by a dog, he starts stomping his head again. You telling me this is not a mentally ill lunatic? And they're up here treating him like a normal person. We can't treat any pit nutter like a normal person. They're not. They lost that privilege when they decided to own them.
This could have been anybody else, a kid maybe. You know, dogs being unleashed in the city is...
And this is what I'm saying. Why would you bring a pit bull into the general public off leash? It just shows you have no care at all for your life and nobody else's, and you want to risk everybody's life. All of these pit nutter owners know full well that when their dog sees something, it could very well decide to charge and attack. And they just don't care.
I think it's not correct. He's been working here for a year. He's a manager. So he knows, he's taking care of everybody here and there. But everybody's worried about him, we just working. We're doing our job. We're not outside looking for trouble, anything like that, We're here making our day, trying to make a living.
Pizza workers. You know what kind of dirtbag you got to be to launch an attack on pizza workers? All because they told you not to bring a dog inside of a restaurant, and you brought it in there off leash and it was a pit bull. I mean, seriously, this guy deserved to be beaten up as soon as he walked in there with that dog. And instead, he starts attacking someone. He the one deserved to be lumped up. Nutter.
And listen to this. After the assault, Watson went back inside the pizzeria. His dog was with them. Workers were able to run to the kitchen, lock that door, run through the basement, back up to the ground level, and lock the front door from the outside, trapping the suspect and his dog inside the restaurant. That's where he was arrested.
How about that? This primitive dirtbag, after the attack, went back inside for some more. And when he came inside, they ran out the back, locked him inside. Really?
Just moments ago, as Watson left this precinct, he had a message to the victim saying,
No, we're going to get that directly from him. Okay? I want y'all to hear this lunatic. How it's almost like bipolar. This dude acting like, he talking like really like nothing happened. Like, hey, what did he say? Oh, that's not me. Listen to this.
Very sorry.
You're very sorry?
Very sorry for the victim.
You're very sorry for the victim?
Yes, my heart goes with
Why didn't you?
He said, my heart goes with him. I'm very sorry for the victim. He also said, I wish him a speedy recovery. Oh, yes, he did. I mean, you talk about lunatic. Listen to this.
Police say the 35-year-old New Jersey man went berserk. Surveillance video reportedly shows Watson first punching the 50-year-old worker, then relentlessly kicking him while he fell to the ground, knocking him unconscious, according to the NYPD.
Well, he kicked him in the head, like stomped him in the head, and then he was unconscious, and he just kept doing it like 2 times, 3 times while he was unconscious.
Workers ran to try and help the manager, beaten within an inch of his...
Now, again, where was the gun? You're in New York City, one of the, most dangerous cities in the United States. And you working in a busy area, you better always be armed.
Within an inch of his life. But when Watson went back into the pizza place, employees turned the tables.
The guys locked the door from the kitchen, went out through the basement, and locked him in.
As they ran out, Watson and his dog were left locked inside until police came, who were also able to give CPR to the victim, reviving him on the sidewalk. Customers left horrified.
They're really nice guys that work there. I mean, I live right here. I couldn't imagine, something like that happening.
See?
Very sorry.
No, we're going to get that video. This is why you should not be friendly. Don't ever be friendly to a pit bull owner. And really any owner of a large dog. These are your enemies. The fact that they own the thing lets you know they're off and very dangerous.
Vanessa and Craig, good morning to you. We can tell you this was a gruesome scene based on the amount of blood left behind me on the sidewalk. We're not going to show that to you because it's too graphic for morning TV, but the whole thing was caught on camera. You can see that camera pretty big right outside Roma Pizzeria here.
And they haven't released the video. I don't know if they even ever will.
And this morning, charges are pending, and an employee of Roma Pizza is in the hospital in critical condition after a dog attack. Police tell us just before 10 o'clock last night, a man entered the pizza shop with his pit bull. The 50-year-old employee asked the dog's owner to put his pit bull on a leash. The 35-year-old man refused, and then an argument escalated to a physical fight. The pit bull jumped in and then attacked that 50-year-old pizza worker, according to our police sources. And that worker remains in critical condition at Bellevue Hospital this morning. That employee was just 90 minutes from closing the store at 11:30 this morning. That dog is being held at the precinct here. The dog's owner is awaiting charges. Charges are pending.
Oh, no. No. We're not done.
Why didn't you just put the dog on the leash?
You hear that? So one of the reporters, I guess, asked, why didn't you just put the dog on a leash?
What happened? Tyshawn,
Tyshawn, why not put the dog on a leash?
why did you beat the guy up? What happened? What happened to your arm? Tyshawn,
You're very sorry? You're very sorry?
What's your dog's name?
What's the dog's name?
What's the dog's
Why
name?
didn't you leash the dog?
but your heart goes out to the victim, but you hit the victim, right?
Why'd you let your dog loose on this guy? The guy's in critical condition. What's wrong with you? Why'd you let your dog loose on the guy? Don't you have anything to say for yourself? The guy's in critical condition.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the victim.
What's that?
Thoughts and prayers go out to the victim.
You hear that? My thoughts and prayers go out to the victim. How many of y'all convinced? If you ask me, this guy is very convincing. If you didn't know what happened, you just heard him say this, you probably think, okay, maybe he did make a mistake and maybe he actually is sorry for it. No. See, when you're not this type of person, you stop yourself after the first punch. No, this is who you are.
What's that?
Thoughts and prayers go out to the victim.
Okay. Did you mean to do it?
I wish him a speedy recovery.
Did you mean to do it?
Absolutely not. That's not.
The reporter asked, did you mean to do it? Now, I pointed out how that's a stupid question. Don't give him no out like that. What you mean, did you mean to do it? You think he did all that on accident? Beat the man half to death, sick the dog on him, and then start stomping his head? You think that was a mistake? Temporary insanity? And this is not temporary insanity. You only get off on temporary insanity charges when whatever you went insane for is reasonable.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the victim.
Okay. Did you mean to do it?
I wish him a speedy recovery.
Did you mean to do it?
Absolutely not. That's not me.
You see, I don't believe there would be many people who would think that this was a bad person if he showed up with his pit bull on a leash, maybe talking to other dog lovers. He is exactly the type of person that other dog lovers would point to and say, look, there's a responsible dog owner. Oh, listen to him. Oh, he's so articulate. And he's a lunatic. The truth is, he's a psychopath. And our rulers allow these people to purchase, really, I don't want to say the name, Killers.
Do it?
I wish him a speedy recovery.
Did you mean to do it?
Absolutely not. That's not me.
Sorry?
He said, absolutely not. That's not me. Really? Really? Wait till this footage comes out. Lord. And I guess he's still in critical condition. He's been charged with attempted murder, all because he didn't want to take his dog outside. All because somebody told him to put it on a leash. You spaz out, launching it. He tried to kill him. He beat him up. If you ask me, that's attempted murder. You can kill somebody just by punching them. Then he sicked the dog on him. That's definitely attempted. That is attempt. Then, as the man lied there unconscious, you go back over and stomp his head. Y'all, I've been telling people this. I've been trying to argue this for a long time. The type of character you need to own a pit bull is a violent one. That's why I laugh at these dog owners who project themselves as loving people. No, you're not. Loving people who are actually civil, they go out of their way to make the people around them feel comfortable around them. They're very conscious. They're very aware of their impact on those around them. The last thing they want to do is make people feel like their life and well-being is in danger. Good people don't do that. So none of these owners are good people, if you ask me. You prove that you're a bad person and you got horrible character by owning these things. That's just what it is. And this is fact. This is not my opinion. This is based on the numbers, statistics. Dog lovers, you as a demographic, you're constantly hurting people. Whether it's your dog or you, you're constantly the cause of physical injuries. To the point where it's life-threatening, y'all send people to the graves on a consistent basis. You send them to ICU on a consistent basis every single day. Here in the United States alone, there's at least 45,000 people in the United States who need reconstructive surgery. And it's through the roof at this point. A few years ago, it was between 20 and 30,000 per year. People who need long hospital stays and need to be put back together. People who need emergency care treatment is, if you ask me, well over 2 million in the United States alone. It was 800,000 a year back in like 2010. While we're here, let me look it up. Oh, yes. Let's go with 2010. Because I remember around that time, Dog attacks had already skyrocketed. Remember, 2010 is 3 years after the Michael Vick case. Now look at this. In 2010, 33 dog attacks in the U.S., and it was over 50% of them was youngsters. And there you go. 4.5 million people bitten every year. So 4.5 million people and 800,000 people who need emergency care treatment. This was in 2010. Do y'all have any idea? Do you have the slightest idea how much I don't even want to say that name. I think that word also messes up the algorithm. Dog attack victims. 4.5 million, 800,000 back in 2010. Remember, around 2013, 2014, it skyrocketed again. No, it kept skyrocketing for the most part. It's been getting worse and worse since 20. Don't tell me it's over 20 million. It got to be around 20 million. 15, 20 million at this point. Because every area, every state, every county, every city that you hear of, they're talking about how dog attacks have risen 150%, 200%. How dog attacks have tripled and quadrupled over a smaller period of time than 14 years that I'm showing. They're talking about these increases taking place within 3, 4, 5 years. So, dog lovers, you as a demographic, you're dangerous. You're the worst types of people for any community. And I want y'all to know this, because you believing that you're some type of pillar of society, upstanding people in the community, that only encourages you to violate other people even more. To let your dog off leash, run around and violate people even more. You got this issue with being accepted, being desperate for acceptance. Get rid of the dog. That's a better way to be accepted by the people around you. If you're a dog lover, rub on other people's dogs. So I'm going to keep up with this. I always try to keep up with these crazy cases that pop up. Welcome back again, by the way. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about this. It's all over the news because it's so insane. One story that I talked about last night that probably has not gone viral is this story right here. And I'm going to have to make a short one. I'm going to make a short one for the original channel. Now brace yourself, because this is disturbing. A 6-year-old boy was handcuffed by his mother, her boyfriend, and I guess their friend. It was the mother and 2 adult males. They handcuffed the boy. He's 6 years old. Then they cuffed his feet. Once he was cuffed, they released the pit bull on him. Instructed the pit bull then to attack him, to maul him. Hard to believe. But according to the reports, this is what happened. The dog attacked his neck, ear, flown to the hospital. There you go. He was restrained with handcuffs on his hands and feet when he was attacked by the dog. Can you believe that? Now brace yourself. The dog owner looks to have been burned by something. Maybe somebody threw acid on him or whatever. But here's the couple. Here's the boyfriend. Here's the mother. Again, they cuffed his hands and feet and then turned the pit bull loose on him. That's the boyfriend. That's the dog owner. And you can tell, look, I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, it looked like his ear gone. Both his ears gone. So I don't know if he was burned. He's probably been set on fire or something. Probably ear got burnt up. But what's going on, people? What is this? I've gotten online over the past year or so, and I've talked about how people slowly, gradually losing their mind. Don't y'all see this as well? And our rulers, the rulers of society, encourage it. They do nothing but promote dogs, especially pit bulls, and they promote them as harmless little angels. Allowing these people to feel like they can do anything. Now, I mentioned with the members a few hours ago that most definitely this anti-child rhetoric that comes from dog lovers contributed to their hostility towards this 6-year-old boy. It is dog culture. And you notice how none of them have made any content in response to this accusation from me. You don't hear them trying to say, oh, no, we're not like that. Yes, you are. So I'm going to definitely keep up with this. And I think the boy is like in critical condition. Dog lovers, a big part of your culture is to hate people 13 and under. Even your own offspring. That is part of y'all's culture. And it's sick. Y'all demonize everybody 12 and under when it comes to dogs. When there are no dogs around, when there's no dogs in the picture, then you pretend to like them. Then you put on this fake show as if you love them. But actions speak louder than words. Pretty crazy. These people need help, man. It's starting to cool off here in Ohio. We might see fewer dogs out very soon. But what I've noticed is that around this time, dog lovers try to get that last bit of summer. They start bringing the dogs out more because they figure summer is almost over. You know, let me get outside as much as possible with my dog before it gets too cold. So be careful. We're around fall season right now. We're getting close. Be careful. Don't think just because it's getting a little chilly that these nutters are not going to keep bringing dogs out and putting everybody in danger. I've said over several videos that a parent who owns a dog is guilty of child abuse. At the very least, neglect, which is considered abuse. And this story right here is just a blatant example of it. You can't divide your parental energy, love, between your offspring and some other entity. You have a special type of energy for your young and your spouse. Right? You have a unique type of love for your youngsters, your offspring, your husband or wife, your parents, your siblings. They get a special type of customized affection and love from you. You're not going to tongue kiss your parents or your brother or sister. That's only for your partner. Same, you're not going to be that way with your youngsters. So when you bring a dog into the frame, you're now trying to divide that customized type of energy and love between your offspring and that dog. That does not work. Because dog culture is structured to demonize the youngsters when there's a dog present. And this is what you get. This is what happens when it festers. The youngster will do something and they'll want to punish him or her. And they use the dog to do it because that pro-dog rhetoric is always making the comparison. Dogs are better than children. Dogs are better. Dogs are better. And they constantly read these reports where the young victims allegedly provoked the dog. So they're brainwashing themselves on that as well. All these articles and all these so-called experts saying that the youngsters always provoke the dog, tease the dog. It all contributed to this attack and many others. And this ain't the first report that we've heard of where the parents did something like this and they were dog owners. Y'all remember not long ago, this woman hung her youngsters in the basement. She hung them. They were hanging. And she had a dog there. She was a dog owner. And she did that because her youngsters caught her in the act with the dog. Y'all remember that story? She was in a loving moment with the dog and her youngsters busted her, walked in on her during that moment. She responded by hanging them. So she was giving the dog not only parental love and affection, but the same love and affection that's meant for her human husband. And I'm pointing this out because that more intensifies their motivation to hurt their own young. So y'all keep playing this game with yourselves, with your minds, if you want to. You're just going to keep hearing stories like this. I'm telling you, man, dogs, especially bully breeds, the more vicious the dog then brings out the worst in the owners, no matter who you are. They eventually start to become more sick, rude, disrespectful themselves, the dog owners, because they have to keep this mindset that I don't care about nobody, my neighbors, nobody, in order to own them. So it's nothing but owning these things turns you into terrible people. If your goal is to be accepted, then dogs should be rejected. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this live stream. I worked 12 hours last night, and I'm working a lot of hours this week. So I might miss a broadcast here and there. But hopefully you all are able to join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.